The 2018 Toyota 4Runner refuses to comply with society. Why is that? It's still a truck-based frame, unlike unibody crossovers that you see everywhere. I still see a lot of people buying these things, so let's find out why. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for this 2018 Toyota 4Runner review. If you're new to my channel, please check it out. I try to do at least 1 to 2 videos every week on different makes and models. Speaking of this 4Runner, I actually just got to drive a Toyota Tacoma recently. Look for a notification in the top right part of the screen. Let's dive in here. Starting out, this does have turning indicators in the mirrors. This is a SR5 premium model. 4Runners come standard with 17-inch wheels. If you get a limited trim, you will get 20-inch wheels. You know, this is definitely subjective, but I've always liked the way the 4Runners look. I appreciate their rugged and boxy design. You do get LED taillights in the back. And we do have a hitch receiver down below. Cool thing about this is it's a power window, so you can drop that window down unlike any other SUV. This vehicle is known for adventures, and you do get roof rails up on top there. You can get optional running boards. If you have the limited model, you actually can get automatic running boards that pop down when you open the door. We do get fog lights on here and daytime running lights, but we do not have LED headlights. I know it's tough to see right now, but I do have the hazards on and the headlights on. Those are projector beam headlights. You will have a different grille and different front end with the limited trim or with the TRD Pro version. Some 4Runners do come with just a gray front bumper down below. The limited trim will have a chrome bar running across instead. What do you say we dive in? The 4Runner comes standard with a 4-liter V6. That is the only engine you can get on here. Miles per gallon is pretty poor. With 2-wheel drive, you'll get 17 in the city, 21 on the highway. With the 4-wheel drive, you'll get 20 on the highway and 17 in the city. It runs on a 5-speed automatic transmission that is fairly smooth shifting. In terms of power, it has 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque. The 4Runner seats are comfortable. You have the nice, this is synthetic leather. It's called Toyota Softex. It is a nice material. It feels comfortable. The seat is heated. We do have power lumbar forward and backwards, as well as power tilt adjustability right here. The steering wheel can tilt and telescope. Pull the lever. It's got about an average range of motion in and out and up and down. This model does have a sunroof. That hinders a little bit of the headspace, but with a hat, being 5'9", I have plenty of room, and I do have the seat lifted up a little bit. Very solid. As we step inside, here's the 4Runner's key fob, just a old school classic key fob. Start it up. The steering wheel is a 4-spoke design. It feels very substantial and very sturdy. It's pretty bulky up here on these pads. It is leather wrapped, and there are perforations in this leather. Over here you get controls for your 6.1-inch touchscreen for the Intune Autotainment over there. Moving to the right, we do get our calling features right there. We can use voice activation here, even talk to Siri with the phone or the voice activation button. You can change your display right up front here. It's pretty basic. It's not very modern or up-to-date, but you can see some information up there, as you can see me scrolling through here. The gauge cluster is your typical analog gauge. Colors are nice, simple layout. Moving over to the doors, you do have fully automatic windows on all 4. Nice chrome trim handle there. I love this handle right here. When you shut the door, you hang on, you close it, and it just feels like it's substantial. Soft padded armrests, nice soft materials up above. Storage is decent. You have a pretty good sized bottle holder, cup holder, and some extra storage back here, as well as a little knick-knack storage right here. Right there we have your mirror controls as well as your lighting controls right here for your display. Down below is where you can control your rear wiper. This is to turn on the power outlet in the back of the vehicle. Toyota does give you an option to turn off your daytime running lights right there on the stick, as well as your fog lights. Toyota does give you a visor with the mirror, and the light is right up above. The visors themselves don't slide, but you do get a sliding piece right there on both sides. As we look up above, we do have traditional lighting for both sides. Traction control button is right there. We do get the home link system for your garage doors right here. Sunroof controls over there, and a sunglasses holder right there. We also do get an automatic dimming rearview mirror. As we take a look at the center stack here for Toyota, you do have your clock up there just like all Toyotas do. Big air conditioning vents, big knobs with the radio on both sides, and big buttons. Definitely made this vehicle pretty utilitarian so that if you're working, if you have gloves, if you're whatever you're doing, it fits the style that this vehicle is going for. Same goes with the air conditioning. We do have a big knob on each side and in the middle to control it. It's not automatic. If you want automatic, you would have to upgrade to the limited trim. Down below you do get a little storage piece right here for a smaller item, USB or auxiliary down there, as well as standard 12-volt power outlet. Even further down you get another storage compartment. We get one cup holder there, one pad right here if you don't have four-wheel drive. If you do have four-wheel drive, in the lower trims you'll have a turn dial to adjust that. If you have a TRD model, you'll get an actual shifter to shift into four-wheel drive. Moving back, you can see the shifter for the 5-speed automatic. This is leather wrapped right here. It is a gated shifter, meaning it can move side to side just like that. Once you get into drive, you can put it in S mode and you can manually shift up and down, and it will show you right there which gear you're in. This model does come with heated seats. You can adjust those right here. If you want ventilated seats, you would have to get the limited trim. One of my favorite things about this vehicle is what this button does. We push that, and that happens. How cool is that in an SUV? You do get more storage right here in front of this other cup holder. One of my complaints with these cup holders is not that they're big enough, but that happens. These are removable little rubber pieces, and really it's not a big deal, but one little complaint right there. Moving back to the center console, this is nice and soft and it's fairly wide to share with the passenger. It doesn't slide forward or backwards, but when you lift it up, you do have a little spot up there to actually put tissues or whatever you need. It's just one big open bin. You can see a 12-volt power outlet right there, and just a big opening down below. Visibility for this vehicle is really not too bad considering it's a big SUV. The boxy shape definitely helps. I'm sorry it's hard to see, it's so bright back there. This is a 6.1-inch touchscreen. There's really nothing special about it on this trim level. You do have Bluetooth. Like I said, it is touchscreen. It's typical Entune audio. You do have a CD player. You do get Bluetooth and auxiliary like I showed you down below, AM, FM, XM radio. It's pretty easy to operate. You can use these big buttons on the side to access your apps. If you have an upgraded Entune system or with navigation, you'll be able to access that on here as well. When you shift into reverse, you do get a backup camera with guidance lines, but they are not trajectory, so they will not move when you turn. The stereo in here is just average at best. It's nothing spectacular, but it'll get the job done. If you do need a good stereo, you can get an available 15-speaker system on the limited trim. In addition to that, a couple things you will get on the limited trim is a memory seat. You will also get smart key access, as well as front and rear parking sonar. A couple things that you're missing with this model since it's not a four-wheel drive. One thing is the active track system, which you'll get on SR5 four-wheel drive and the TRD off-road. If you upgrade the TRD model to the TRD Pro, for example, you can get KDSS suspension system for better articulation when you're off-roading. You'll also get crawl control and a multi-terrain selection dial, which will be right up above, so that you can control that based off of how fast you want to go with your crawl control going up a hill, so you can just focus on steering, or your multi-terrain select depending on how heavy of duty off-roading you're doing. In addition to that, you'll get a locking rear differential. The back seat of this Toyota 4Runner is a good place to be. You get the same soft material seats back here. These back seats do have a slider rack, so you can scoot forward or backwards. Got a standard lever right here, so you can recline pretty far back, and it definitely gets comfortable. I have plenty of leg space, decent amount of foot space under that seat. At 5'9", I have no problem sitting back here. We do get nice materials on the door for a comfortable armrest. And we get an armrest with cup holders in the middle. Also, headspace, not an issue with that. I think I actually have a little bit more than I did in the front seat. In the back seat, we still get some nice soft carryover, soft touch materials right there. A padded door rest, a nice substantial handle to hang on to, a little compartment right there, as well as a mini compartment and bottle holder down in the bottom. Like I said, I have plenty of space. At 5'9", plenty of space for my knees. Could use a little bit more room underneath the seat, but I could put mine under there, no problem. We do get back seat air vents, as well as two 12-volt power outlets back here. In addition to that, like I mentioned, we have this pull-down armrest, push the button for cup holders, and very soft, squishy padding right there. As we open up the back, just a little button under here, push that, and you can lift it up. It is not a power tailgate. We don't have adjustability to set it to a certain height, but you do have a handle up here, as well as a little pull rope right here. This one does have the available third row seat. It is too small for me to sit in, so I'm not going to do it. I would only put small children back there. Cargo capacity is massive in the 4Runners. You can get over 89 cubic feet with all the seats folded down. In order to fold the seat down, you have to pull that lever, push that down, get flat third row. Same goes with those back seats. You pull the lever and it'll go down just like that. Same goes with that one. The nice thing about this is it is a 40-20-40 split. So if you just have one skinny item, you can stick it right down the middle there. You get a storage compartment over here with a little bit of storage up there for your third row passengers or for your cargo. Same goes on this side. A little bit lower, we also do get a standard plug-in right there, as well as a 12-volt outlet. This one also does come with the cargo net. If you don't have the third row seat, you do have an option to get a sliding rack. It sits right there. There's a little lever you pull. You can slide it out for easier access to your cargo, and you can put about 440 pounds on it. The 4Runner does have a towing hitch. It is rated at 5,000 pounds. It's time to go for a drive. Right now I'm on gravel. I'm on the gravel parking lot you saw me filming in. A rougher place like this is definitely where this thing belongs. It feels very comfortable on some rough bumps out here. You know, if you accelerate going over some rough stuff like that, there's really no issue with it at all. Hardly any stutter or shudder inside the cabin. Everything feels like it's completely solid. I'm very impressed with that. The turning radius is surprisingly tight for a vehicle like this. You know, I wouldn't have any problem putting this thing in a narrow parking spot. Going over some bigger bumps and some thicker stuff, it cushions you pretty well. It's really not too bad. You can see me moving around a little bit, but this is nothing. Now I'm on the open road. I'm going about 40 right now, and I'm going to give it the beans. You can hear it drop down. That was 60, not too bad. It's got some decent pickup. When you're going slow, it feels a little pudgy, but if you get on it, you can definitely get some power out of it. It's got a pretty good torque range with its 278 pound-feet of torque. Going about 55 on a pretty smooth blacktop road. I've got a decibel meter reading at 61.6. That's pretty quiet. You know, I can hear some wind noise in here. The road noise isn't too bad. You know, it's quieter than I was expecting, honestly. I am on the highway right now, and you can feel that this vehicle is a little floaty. You know, you can definitely kind of feel everything, but it's not uncomfortable by any means. I wouldn't have a problem driving this. If you're used to something pretty smooth, then you'll definitely notice that this feels different than that. Going around corners, there is some body roll. If you don't want body roll, you can get the limited trim, and the suspension will adjust to help in cornering for some smoother riding. Like you probably know, this vehicle is not really meant for, you know, curving up a mountain road. It's meant for going off-road and having the ability to do that. So somebody just pulled out in front of me. I had to get on the brakes a little bit. The brakes are they're pretty good. A little bit softer than the Tacoma that I drove before, but these really have no problems. You do get ventilated disc brakes as well with these 4Runners. After being able to spend quite a bit of time with this 4Runner, I had a lot of fun with it. It's you know, I've got an adventurous spirit. I would love to take it off-road for you guys, but I can't right now. It's a dealership's vehicle. If I get a press vehicle, I would love to do that for you. So why would you want one of these over, you know, maybe the Highlander or over a Jeep Grand Cherokee? You know, you'd really have to look at the features that this offers and really think about your lifestyle. If you want a commanding view of the road, sitting up a little higher, a truck-like feel, then this is for you. I used to drive a truck, so I really appreciate the feeling of this vehicle. It feels like I'm at home in here. It does have some modern luxuries with the heated seats, the comfortable Softex leather seats, the power adjustability. It's got a huge cargo space back there, and it's functional, and you can get a third row if you need. You can go without the third row and have a sliding tray for some adjustability back there. Overall, there's really a lot to like about it. There's also a lot that you can hate on this vehicle, but you know, if you're watching this video, you obviously have an interest in the 4Runner and what it offers, and I would buy this thing. I wouldn't mind having this at all. That's gonna wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, check out my channel. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Let me know what you think of this vehicle. If you're considering something else, let me know as well. I'd love to give you my advice, and stay tuned for more videos and more test drives. Have a great day.